Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Dick. We are the Annuity Guys.
Dick, I love the headline today. 84% of people want annuities, but somehow only 14% manage to obtain them?
We read this in the Tia Kreff article, or the article is Money Watch, but the study was Tia Kreff. And it's amazing, folks, that 84% of retirees and pre-retirees, when asked the question, do you want guaranteed income, answer, absolutely. And they're used to getting it through pensions and that type of thing.
Social Security.
But then when you turn the coin around and you present the only way that you can get guaranteed income is with an annuity.
Guaranteed income for life.
The question that begs to be answered is, why don't people buy an annuity for that portion of what they're trying to accomplish? And the article says, because they don't understand the blank blank things.
Yeah. and that's, they get annuities somehow have this reputation as being confusing, tough to understand,
complex,
too many moving parts.
Or you have to give all your money away, and you know, then
and I think that's the key.
You die, and the insurance company, those bad guys keep it.
The misconceptions of how they work, and especially the fact that you're giving the insurance company all your money, and then when you're dead, they get to keep it. Yeah, that
in some cases
that stops everybody. Hey, why would I want to do that?
Well, and what I think is amazing, and we see this in our own practice, and we've got an article on it too. The 1% that the 1%,
the Wall Street 1%ers,
the folks with the big money, the big incomes, they get it. Yeah. They buy annuities.
Well, and they understand that it's another asset class, basically a hedge, non-correlated asset for their portfolio. The markets may be going like this, up, down, but guess what? Annuities are a whole different asset class.
And exactly, and everybody knows that it doesn't matter how much money you have, if it's at risk, it's at risk. Yeah. So if you have some money that's not at risk, that covers other risks like living too long, the kind of the world falling apart around us, the financial world.
Right.
These folks that have the larger portfolios that you would think wouldn't be worried about it, one of the first things they do is cover that portion of their need. Yeah. And they understand that it insulates them against lawsuits, frivolous lawsuits and creditors and this type of thing. So there's so many risks that an annuity actually takes off of the table that you kind of wonder, why don't more folks?
Well, they probably, don't think about getting sued as much as doctors and lawyers and entrepreneurs. That people are coming after your dollars, so they don't think about the creditor protection aspects that come with annuities. So those added benefits maybe aren't forefront, but you would think the guarantees, income for life, as we talked about, everybody likes having a Social Security payment.
Yes.
They know that they can't outlive it.
Or their pension.
Most people don't want to give up their pensions. Yeah, they like the idea of having a lump sum for a little while, but when they look at what they're giving up, how long am I going to live? That's always the question in the back of people's minds.
Well, and let's run with the idea too of they're just too complex, and people don't get it. They don't understand it. So let's talk about the different annuities. First of all, immediate annuities aren't complex. There's nothing complex about them.
Well, that's true. You take your money.
Yeah, you give it to the insurance company. They pool your money with a lot of other folks. Right. And they have actuaries, and they decide that some of you are going to live longer, and some of you are going to live less. And we can statistically run this out, and so that we'll return a portion of the money that comes back from the investment. We'll return a portion of your principal, and for those of you that live longer lives,
you get to keep the money for the people that didn't.
Yeah.
So it's really a pool, a risk pool, to make sure that people that do live a long life, there's an insurance policy for basically their money.
Exactly, and then when we get into some of the other innovative annuities that have come along, now it is true there's more complexity to them.
Sure.
But would that be a reason to not take advantage of the benefits that they offer folks?
Well, and that's when you back it up to the simplest form of the annuity, when you're looking at something on a deferred fixed annuity, something that can grow without risk of loss.
Yes.
Something that can be annuitized and turn into really that immediate annuity at any point in time.
If you choose.
If you choose. Then you take some of the additional innovations. You got the indexing component where you can get additional growth without risk of loss.
Right.
And then also from that, you also have the income rider options now that you can get lifetime income without having to annuitize.
So you've got like we say, your cake and eat it too, where if you need to get back to that money for whatever reason, there's an account value there, and that account value will go on to your heirs, penalty free.
Yeah.
So surrender free.
Surrender free.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's obviously they're avoiding probate. Designate your beneficiaries.
Just goes right around it automatically.
So you got spousal continuation aspects. So
yes.
Many aspects of the annuities that are relatively straightforward and quite often beneficial.
Yes.
So whatever you're looking for.
Well, I think that the key to this really, Eric, is making certain that you use the annuity just to solve what you need it to solve, whether it's risk aversion and you want some money that's there that's just protected for growth purposes and not necessarily at any risk, or it's income, and you have to decide what your objectives are, and then that helps you zero in on which type of annuity is going to be better for you, and then the next big question is how much to put in an annuity. And I think that again, this goes back like to even the 1% we were talking about, is that they understand that if they get that mix right, they can invest more confidently.
Sure.
You let the money do what it's supposed to do in each bucket or basket.
Right. We often say use the minimal amount of dollars to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish. So
how can folks figure that out? How can they figure that out best?
Well, typically I would say you want to talk to somebody, a professional agent who specializes in annuities that can help you work through that process backwards. We like to say outcome-based planning.